Welcome to WMFB, broadcasting live from the end of the earth. Static in the sand
Across
and a
the,
skeleton DJ.
the
Spitting
mall
archaic in the jokes and slurred words. We
walkway,
let go.
and they're
Now
all
we're
moving
down
too
here
slow.
with the worm, eating dirt, prayer,
Or,
singing out
man, don't
into
get me
a
started
world
with
of
people who don't
WMFB, where the sun forgot, but we still
man.
have the moon.
I don't know.
Maybe, I
And-
mean, I might just be talking about the fact that I hate people. It might just come to that. I just wish I had just sick of seeing people around.
Oh, man.
Yeah. 2026.
Happy 2026 indeed. But speaking of hating people, I found myself despising Emma in this series more and more.
You don't like Emma right in the beginning right here? She very small appearance in chapter 4.
I know that's the thing and the thing that gets to me is that, like, you know, she pretends to be this girl's friend, and then gets caught in it all when, you know, when Taylor's mom dies and stuff. It's like, what the hell's the matter with you? I get kids can be terrible, but that's like the epitome of like being a terrible, terrible kid.
Yeah, I haven't totally put together the timeline of everything that happens with Emma and Sophie and Taylor. Which maybe I won't really, yeah, maybe we can just leave it at that, because yeah, one of these girls was actually pretending to be her friend to bait.
Was it Emma or Sophia? Did I just mix them up?
Well, I don't know, I guess. But it's almost, I kind of feel like either this is conjecture now, so whatever. But it's also like we do also get the background of these characters in like one sentence or like one half of a paragraph, and then we move on, you know, sprinkled throughout what we've read so far. So this is either Emma or Sophia was like the childhood best friend, or at least late childhood, and then because I think that one of them was friends with her when Taylor's mom died, and you know. Taylor's...
Yeah, so from what I'm rereading here, this, like, the whole argument between Emma and Taylor. Emma says, every time I see you, it's irritating. It's this irritating little reminder of time I wasted being your friend. You know, those embarrassing events in your past that make you cringe when you think back on them. For me, it's basically every sleepover, every juvenile conversation, every immature game you dragged me into.
Yeah, fuck Emma. I think Emma. Yeah, so Emma might be. You know, that could be either. That could be the high school fake friend, or it could be the childhood friend.
Yeah, the one that caused all the January shit.
Yeah, because I think there are two periods of two friends. But yeah, right now I've smoked pot, as we just discussed at length. And and this is like the background lore. I even wasn't sure. Do you remember I mentioned like there had been an incident and I wasn't sure what it is, and now we know what it is. So even compared to last week, this is still getting filled in. But yeah, so one of them was the girl that she said like she had been up all night crying. She mentioned she had cried for a week after her mom died, and then that girl used that later to make fun of her. They're both using Emma and Sophia both have ammo because they were around Taylor during periods where she was vulnerable and traumatized. One being the mom. It feels to me like there was the mom death and the breakup with the friends in general, and then one of the girls started kind of being her friends that led to the triggering incident. Where's the trigger event?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm being called by people that want me to give them money. Yeah, anyway, so I really could You know what I mean? But I mean, this is what the experience of reading is like. You kind of part of the experience of reading something is figuring it out as you go along. So yeah, that's a really bad summary of whatever happened with Emma, Sophia, and Taylor. And there's at least one other mean girl.
Oh, what was her fucking name? She listed them as I was reading this, and I completely
Oh,
forget now.
in chapter 4, she said all
Eh,
three of their names because
I believe so because she's talking about like uh uh what was it? Was basically explaining like excuse me about they basically described like the two of them arguing the basis of their friendship or whatever relationship that they have left, and let alone like I don't know, Emma's just brutal, man, just for no good fucking reason. It honestly, like, this is like the epitome of mean girliness that I've ever seen in anything I've ever read. Like, just absolutely like lambaster about
yeah,
not going to school, about not having friends, blah 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 blah.
I'm pissed
Um,
off about the time that I wasted being annoyed by having you in my presence.
yes. Oh man. Um,
Yeah, Emma's pretty bad. Especially yeah, and I think that she was the so I think that Emma was the high school age fake friend because I think it was Sophia that was talking about how she told her that she had cried all week after her mom died. But again, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what's going on here. I'm really yeah, I'm in real proper form today. I was
oh good.
oh, I guess rare form is what I was looking for. I started to
Mhm.
say like high form. I guess that
But
is something
that
someone
also
might
makes
say.
sense.
Well, it would be redundant for sure. But man, shit sure has been going on
hmm
nonstop. Anyway, yeah, so
No
yeah.
doubt, man. No doubt.
Yeah, goddamn. So here in the beginning of Shell, yeah. Not to I guess now that wow, I really yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not totally sure exactly which of these girls is which, and I guess we got to leave it at that now.
um,
I'm kind of just yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit stuck on wait a minute, which of these mean girls was doing what but why? But I mean now we've just been over and over it at this point.
yeah. well, um, well then, what was it?
She's got an extension on her art project that we've been wondering about.
Oh yeah, that art project has been
That's
bugging
the
me. Let alone that she got
biggest
herself a new textbook for that one class. But um, uh, and I forget if she leaves school early again or she goes the entire day.
I think she goes the entire day today. She's excited about being back. She's got an extension. The girls are being mean to her, but she walks away because fuck them.
Agreed.
She has eaten the best muffins she has ever eaten that morning with Brian on her jog.
hmm
And yeah, she's thinking, you know what? I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow, and I'm gonna do my art project, even though she's gonna give me 10% off the grade, my teacher. But yeah, it sounds like other than Emma, who is extremely shitty, the day goes kind of okay, and she goes and talks to. I'm not sure exactly. I know she's going to meet up with. Oh, she meets everybody at
The market,
the market, at the like at the pier public. We would
like a
call it.
public, it's like a farmer's market almost,
Yeah, like
or like a bazaar.
a flea market.
Flea market would also.
A dirt
It'd
mall?
probably be more apt for that.
You got any dirt mall out there?
uh, dude, we used to have this place called Gibraltar Trade Center,
Yeah.
and it was I don't know what it used to be, but for one, there was like this iconic, like 50-foot tall fucking stand up of a very dapper gentleman from like the 1920s with like a bowler cap, a cane, and a three-piece suit. You know, looking all fancy, and it's just like Gibraltar Trade Center. Come inside, and on the inside, it was people selling ninja stars
Yeah.
and katanas and used computer parts and all sorts of other fun stuff.
Yeah, that's
I
the kind
mostly
of
used to
place.
go
Yeah.
for the comics.
Yeah. Oh, they always have. Yeah. There's always
Always
someone
some good
selling
comics.
comics and toys at the. Yeah. Our dirt mall is outdoors.
That's cool. Yeah,
I
like
guess that's more of a flea market.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
would say like I thought like a flea market was indoors, which I don't understand where the term flea market came from.
Well, if you saw the place that I would describe as a flea market.
Yeah.
um,
As a potential place to get fleas, is
as a,
that
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you want fleas, if you're looking
if you
for
want fleas, come hang out with the
come on
carnies at the
down
flea
to
market.
come on down to the market. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
maybe-
Oh, there was also like little sideshows at this place too, and that
Whoa,
was also really
really?
weird. Oh yeah. There was like almost like almost like carny games, if I
Yeah,
remember right.
like-
It was like, you know, I'll guess your weight and
Oh,
shit like that.
Sure.
But it in place, and and if I remember right, I think they might have had a cafeteria or some like food stands outside.
Yeah, those places are great. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, they also had the lady that paints your whole name in like a really pretty scene, like microscopically on a grain of rice.
Oh, the
Have you ever
grain
seen
of
that
rice.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. No idea where that rice is now.
Very precious grain of rice.
A very precious grain of rice that I even told my mother, I'm okay, I don't need this. And she's like, oh, come on, it's fun. I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna tell you
Um,
about, or go ahead.
No, and she would also do the fucking grind up penny, like,
Oh, the smashed pennies.
the smash pennies. Yeah.
Oh, yo, the smashed man. Yeah, I
She
love
has a whole collection in like
Yeah?
sleeves.
a little.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like when you see people with Pokemon cards, like obviously smaller sleeves,
Oh, Yeah,
but
my,
right,
my
like,
mother has a smash penny sleeve book.
smashed pennies from all around these wide United States.
Oh shit! Whenever she finds one, like,
This is my favorite. I love this as a hobby. This is so
oh my god,
funny.
it's such a wholesome thing too. Like,
I
my
wish I
mother is
had-
a very
I
wholesome.
wish I had some of my smashed pennies from childhood.
I know. I feel like I took a lot of those for granted, but like,
Yeah, it's such a funny thing to me. I don't. Yeah.
mm, um, but what was it? So they go to the market.
Oh yeah. Well, they mentioned that Rachel is not out with them in public, and is not out with them in public ever, because she is well known. Her face is well known, and she is wanted for serial murder.
Mhm.
That is, we are the reader and Taylor are both casually told this information on the way to the market where we're going shopping.
Yeah, that she's wanted for murder, and we also find out. Actually, was it in this section that we find out about? It's basically they talk about the moments that triggered their powers.
Yeah, that's a little bit later on.
That's later
That's
on.
as
Okay,
they're as they are after they eat at Fugly Bob's.
what a restaurant name, by the way.
You remember a character named Ugly Bob?
Ugly Bob. No.
No, from a little 90s animated show called Not Without My Anus. Are you Are you not familiar?
That was the one Canadian guy that wore a bag on his head because he was so ugly. Yeah.
Ugly Bob, Celine, I was going to make us a family again, but now you've slept with Ugly Bob. That was the Jesus Christ. That was in the 90s. That was one of the funniest because I don't know if you remember, but not without my anus. They made this huge deal about this. We're talking about South Park, but it was like the second. It might have even been the first season of South Park, and they were like, "Who is Cartman's father?" And they did this big cliffhanger, and
I
everyone
remember
was
that.
it was either this guy or this guy in town, and it was this whole mystery. And find out next week, and then next week it was just this fucking show about these Canadian people. It might have even been the introduction of their Saddam Hussein character, but it just had nothing to do with the show. It was like they may have even done the like, all right, here we go. This week on South Park, we're gonna find out who Cartman's father is, and then all of a sudden, not without my anus. Okay, why am I? Oh yeah, Ugly Bob.
Ugly Bob's for all your greasy burger needs.
Do you think you could call a restaurant Fugly Bob's and like not get in some kind of
Y-
trouble or have the community upset with you?
Yeah. Oh God, there was like a story a handful of years ago from my town. Uh, there's a Middle Eastern restaurant that called themselves like Bomb Shawarma or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, people
that
took
could be
that
questionable.
people took that very personally.
How many years ago? Not say
This was
2025 or so.
this was definitely around like 20 years ago.
Oh, so right about the time that people didn't want to think about people bombing.
Think about what was going on in the Middle East.
Oh.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose that not as though many things have changed.
It's but again, like it's bomb is a general, it's a very commonly
I'll tell
used
you, man.
colloquialism.
Yeah, I have had
So
some bomb shawarma, and
I have
if
indeed had some bomb shawarma
if I
before.
was looking for shawarma, and there were two restaurants, and one of them was called Tasty Shawarma, and the other one was called Bomb Shawarma.
I'm going to bomb
I'm going to
shawarma.
bomb shawarma. I'm going to nuclear bomb shawarma. Fuck me up, shawarma. Yeah, okay.
Dude, I do love a good shawarma, man. Oh man.
Fuck me bomb.
But so
I want to
Tattletale
get
ends
a
up like giving shit to Taylor about her clothes, like yeah, kind of more of like a friendly like elbowing about her fashion choices, and
as
uh,
in she has not made any in her
yeah,
life ever.
yes, and then tells the boys to
Lisa is a cool
go
girl.
wander. Lisa is in fact the cool girl. Yes.
You think she's cool? You like her? You think she's
I feel there's some, considering her powers, I feel like there's a lot of easily found means for manipulation. I feel like she can kind of manipulate and cater to an audience a little bit.
Yes.
So she seems like a safe, impressionable character. But I also feel that there's a potential that I think that she's working for
Someone.
God, the parahumans,
The Protectorate?
the protectorate. Thank you. I have a
Oh, I
feeling
was
she's
gonna-
working with the protectorate, and like we have a. She's like, I know how they have a mole in their ranks and stuff like that. And as much as like she does have the capacity to just find that
To know
stuff
things,
out,
yeah.
to just know things. I also feel that she knows that because she was firsthand involved in that,
Yeah, she definitely
and
has
she
a
knows Taylor's motives, which is why she's treating her so nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go shopping. Sorry, just side note conspiracy theory about what I'm thinking is going to potentially happen.
Well, she definitely, and maybe even we get a little reinforcement later, but she is connected with some type of more organized she's connected to some larger organization. She has connections.
Mhm.
But we knew that already. We know that she is the connection to the boss. But we get a little more. It does seem like she is a member of some kind of larger organization by the end of this chapter. Yeah, so after we do some high school shopping kind of antics and everyone is friends and having fun with each other, we get the terrible origin stories, which in this world, origins are called trigger events, and they are very often horrible. And for the most part, they're horrible. Basically, you get a break if your parents were parahumans, because then it doesn't have to be like an unbelievable traumatizing trigger event. But if you're just, the type of person that has a percentage of a chance to become parahuman, it often takes a really bad thing happening to you. What happened to Taylor that made her go to the mental hospital in January?
Oh my God, this poor girl. Like, she gets shoved into a locker filled with used tampons and locked in.
How long had the tampons been in the locker?
You know what? I forgot how long they said it.
Oh, over winter break, so a week, 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, so they're
Um,
they're just lingering.
Yeah, they were very smelly, and she was vomiting, and it was all of the tampons from all of the girls. Well, they had taken them out of the. These girls like dumping trash on Taylor. So yeah, they got all the tampons, and they put them in the locker, and then when she opened the locker, after winter break and started puking, one of them shoved her in there. And I guess she had to get rescued, but yeah, while she was in there, she became aware of a bunch of little feeds of information all over the place, telling her things and hearing things, and it's not nice. The things that she hears from the bugs are weird screeches and distorted versions of what the bugs are hearing, and what she sees are, as you would expect, segmented, fragmented pieces of vision or mirrored. You know what it looks like when you see through a bug's eyes on the TV. Is what she's describing. Yeah, so really, that's probably the most vulgar thing that we've read about in this story so far.
Definitely.
And Brian's origin story is that I don't know, he doesn't quite say that mom has a series of new boyfriends that are sometimes, well, it sounds like one of them in particular was molesting or slapping around his little sister. He and his little sister are living in separate houses. He's living with his father, who he doesn't really like, but I guess respects. His father is a cold boxer man, right? A boxer?
Yep, he
He's
was a
teaching him to
boxer in the
fight?
U.S. Navy.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
taught him how to fight, full contact, like with a 15-year-old kid when you're like
Yeah.
I think he said he was like a 40-year-old, 35-year-old man.
35 years old in prime physical condition. Brian is 15. So a cold man, a violent man, but a man nonetheless trying to at least prepare Brian for, I don't know, maybe prepare him for a career of boxing. But anyway, his mom is taking drugs and having boyfriends, and one night he gets a call from his sister. Some things that are not described have occurred, and he has to go rescue his sister. And does he? I imagine he must. I didn't make a note of it, and I may have been reading this kind of quickly, but I imagine that he did something very violent to this boyfriend man. I don't think he killed him, or at least he doesn't say anything.
He
about
maimed
killing
him pretty badly,
and
if I
also
remember right.
and also turned into a black smoke monster like
Mm.
like that guy on Lost.
But apparently the guy also was on probo and violated terms of his
Yes.
probation.
Okay,
Wasn't
right.
going to his NA meetings, which NA meetings are nice. Everybody hugs. It's
Is
not
that
that
true?
bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh that is very true. Yeah, everybody hugs at the beginning of an NA meeting.
I guess that sounds nice.
Yeah, a lot of support.
I mean, you
You know.
should. Yeah. I mean, I guess you gotta. I mean, I guess I was taken aback when you said NA meetings are nice. I mean, not that I've ever, and I mean, I don't really have a problem with anything other than pot, but I can imagine feeling
Yeah, same.
unnice if I had to go to a place like that. You know what I mean? I can imagine feeling
Mhm.
like it's not going to be a fun time. But I mean, but you know what? I hope that anyone that does have to go to an NA meeting, I hope it is nice, and I hope that you get hugged.
I hope you get hugged. But yeah, broke the terms of his probation.
And as a result,
He got as a result got 6 months in jail versus the 3 months of community service that Brian got.
right. So Brian didn't get into too much trouble for this. Brian has to be a good. I mean, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We got a lot of possibilities. I was about to say Brian has to be a good guy because his long-term goal is to make enough money to get an apartment and adopt his sister and get her out of his mom's custody. But again, that's the kind of goal that will cause a character to betray their closest friends for the good of their family. So he's a good guy, but we don't know if he's going to be good to our characters or to Taylor. He also could be lying about all this. He could be lying about everything.
Yes, that's what I'm kind of like. I'm like, all right, I'll buy this for now.
Yeah, you gotta distrust the nice pragmatic guy, the pragmatic guy who's level-headed, who keeps everyone in line, and who is immediately best friends with our main character. That's the guy. If literature
That's
has taught me anything, yeah, that's the guy we have to suspect.
But what was it? Let alone the fact that I also had, again, going full conspiracy theory here. I think that again, like along with the lying, Brian specifically is lying about what he did to the boyfriend and that he is the other murderer.
Oh, okay, yeah, that feels okay. I'm okay with that. I think that, yeah,
It's either that or Lisa was really covering for herself when talking about how Rachel killed somebody or some folks.
Sure. Yeah, I'll put a smashed penny on Brian having killed that guy. I think that's
I'll put a smashed penny on that.
I'll put a smashed penny on it.
Indeed.
Brian suggests that they get all of the Black Widows to come and move into the lower floor of the hideout and put them to work making spider silk superhero costumes for everyone. That would be cool. They would all match as a team.
That would be that like conceptually that is really fun. Like they get the quote unquote Gen 2 suits or something like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like it when the team comes together and they get new uniforms.
Mm.
Oh, and when they were shopping, he bought her a little gift.
Oh god, it was
A dragonfly sealed in amber.
amber. That's what it was. I was trying to remember. It was some bug in amber, and I was gonna say mosquito, but I'm like, no, that's too Jurassic Park.
Yeah, you're probably not getting any dino DNA out of. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what dragonflies bite or feed on.
I believe they're Well, it's vegetarian. No, they're omnivores, but they mostly feed off of like smaller insects.
Dragonflies are weird.
Dragonflies are pretty neat, though.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see my first dragonfly until like I was like 15 or something.
Oh, we got like tons of them out here, like all over the goddamn place.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
we never had those. Let alone like praying mantises.
they fuck weird.
Dude, I did not see a praying mantis until I was in like until I turned 30. At
Oh,
least.
yeah.
Dude, I mean, like I've seen them in like,
At the zoo?
enclosements or something like that,
Yeah.
the zoo and shit. But like, I didn't know that they're where I'm at. So
Yeah.
like, I'm having a cigarette outside of my apartment, and then all of a sudden, I hear, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, what the hell was that noise? It was this big ass praying
Yeah, they're
mantis.
giant.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It scared the shit out of me.
They're super rare. Like I've seen like, less than 5. I saw there was one in my yard last spring and I'm still talking about it.
You
But
don't
they're
see them very
around.
often,
Yeah,
but
no, they're
but
super rare.
and the fucking claw things are no joke because like
Yeah.
I tried like doing the human thing and poking at him with my finger, and all of a sudden I got a little
They
swipe on
grab
that
on.
from
Yeah.
that thing. Oh yeah, it lasted for a second. I had to shake it off.
Cool bug. Yeah, weird.
Yeah,
Claws
very cool
and
bugs. It, it,
yeah.
it didn't it didn't necessarily hurt, but it definitely startled me. But anyway,
Yeah, man.
so they're talking about how they need to pick up the cash
Yeah,
that they stole from the bank.
they stashed the cash, and I guess they don't talk too much about like the liens and deeds and stuff, but I'm just because the rest of the chapter is about to be about where the fuck the cash went.
Hmm.
So I'm just assuming that all the papers and paperwork and shit is with that cash because it seems to get handled by the end of this chapter.
Right.
Um,
But they try calling bitch and she's not answering.
yeah, did I? Yeah, the only other I had her in my notes because I was going to talk because well, as we mentioned, she's wanted for serial murder. But
Mm.
she's missing. She was supposed to meet them. They have stashed the cash at a storage unit, and they're supposed to all meet together and go get it. And the first thing that is off is that Rachel is nowhere to be found and not answering her phone. I like the whole description. They describe this storage area
Mhm.
uh almost as like a whole district of town. They talk about like this like these endless rows of storage lockers and like how they're not even in order because like some of them were built later on and like there's like different pathways through it almost sounds like different companies own these lockers. Like it's not like like if I go to like the self-storage facility, whatever, it's like it's like two like blocks of like like 5 aisles, a bunch of rows of lockers, but they're all, it's very orderly and neat and just, in a little fenced in area. This makes it sound, we were watching Evangelion last night and we talked about like the long, dark railroad switching yard of the soul that a lot of Japanese characters end up in, when it's like foggy at night and there's like rail cars like switching on all of the different like tracks in an anime and some Japanese characters wistfully staring out at the rail cars switching there whatever. Yeah, it gave me that kind of vibe. A a storage yard of the soul. like
The
a little
storage yard of the soul.
like a little shanty town, but anyway, their money's not there.
Gasp.
There is a clean spot on the floor where their pile of money should be, and Rachel is also not there. But who is there? Uber and Leet.
Oh God, these guys.
These guys are streamers. In 2011, these guys might have invented streaming. These guys are like kick streamers.
I also had
They are IRL streamers.
and also what's really funny, like have you played any of the Borderlands games?
Yeah, not a ton, but all of them kind of a little bit with like multiplayer yelling at each other, not really absorbing, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, if you've ever have you played Borderlands 3?
maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Well,
if there's something in specific that you're no.
I was going to reference that in the game, there are these assassins, these twins that have like uh, oh God, like the power that the Phoenix lady has. I always forget her fucking name.
Jean Grey.
No, almost like that.
Uh,
Might as well be.
is there a Phoenix lady in Borderlands?
Yeah, it's God, what is her fucking name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
It is in fact Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, really?
You are correct. No, it was. I think it was Kate Beckinsale played the character
Oh wait, in the movie or in the game?
in the movie.
Oh, oh, so is she one of the main characters? Is because there were. Could you select between like four characters with certain power sets? I just recall machine gunning a lot in Borderlands, but there were like a group of characters, yeah, or are they just people you run into?
I'm trying to. I believe that's a group that you run into.
I remember
It
playing the one that
hmm.
was like Dungeons and Dragons.
But the Tiny Tina.
Yeah. Um.
That stuff's great.
Yeah. So a Phoenix
But
lady.
either way, but I cannot find her name. Uh, Phoenix. Shit, I can't figure out her name right now. But either way, doesn't really matter. But the thing with that I was gonna say is that like we've noticed so much like stuff in like the things that we watch right now
Yeah.
about what we've seen in this, and it predates everything by like 10 years. Excuse me.
Are you
And
talking
what's
about like
interesting?
a little camera ball that follows you around?
Well, no, I was going to talk about how in Borderlands 3 there are these two assassins that are basically like kick streamers, and they
Oh,
show
yeah,
how they're
okay.
killing people and stuff like
Oh,
that.
right, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I just immediately, and again, this predates Borderlands 3 by I don't know how many years. When was it released? So
By seven,
I'm
6 or 7 years.
contemplating like how much is like how many people have read this and have been like oh, I like this bit, I'm going to just pluck.
Well,
Like,
I would love to find out because I bet that people are even more likely to just straight up lift ideas from something that was posted on the web. You know what I mean? Like,
something like already out there and open.
yeah. Um, we've already talked about plenty of things that we've seen in this that we feel like we've seen again later. I feel like every week we've talked about like at least
And,
one
and
thing.
and the thing is that like I don't know if it's like a common trope that we're like not really familiar
Well,
with or
some of it
something.
is. Some of it is. And I mean
Well, some yes.
the idea of like bozos showing up to ruin your day and they're also fucking streaming, whether it's through violence or just like idiots showing up in a comedy movie. Fucking Scream like 4 or 5 was about fucking streamers. Like,
Hmm.
and that was like what? That was whichever one I'm talking about was like 2015. So again, after this, but like,
So
you know,
so so a handful of years.
it was almost the kind of thing that was obviously going to become a trope. But in
Yeah.
2011, yeah, I mean, I had never even streamed in 2011. I guess
Yeah, me either.
that was like the one
I,
of the
I, I
first
was I was
times.
completely unfamiliar with that whole platform in general.
Well, I don't think Twitch existed in 2011. Maybe 2011 might have been the first year of like Twitch. But I mean, I even remember, yeah, other weird streaming services and proto. Like I was on something called like Ustream or something, which like yeah, it was anyway. This was
I
very proto streaming.
Yeah,
Uh,
Twitch started in June of 2011.
there we go.
So shit, fascinating.
They are
But anyway,
they're dressed as Bomberman characters today. Um, we do get I don't know really whose voice it is in, or maybe it is kind of in Taylor's. She says something about how one of their previous they dress up like different video game characters and do video game themed things, and one of their previous escapades was dressing up like they were in GTA and crashing cars and beating up hookers. So they're very bad guys. That's our evidence. Which I mean,
mhm.
I'm not saying that like I'm not making light of beating up hookers, but it's kind of like her. She's like, yeah, they do terrible. Wow, and now now I'm not sure if this is what I want to say, but anyway.
It's more the absurdity of like to the extremes that these guys take their thematics.
You shouldn't go out and
It's
beat
just
up hookers
hilarious.
because of GTA. That's not very sex work positive. One of them,
Unionize, but um, but yeah, they have like I'm trying to remember where they put the cameras at.
They got,
Was it like a camera ball thing
it
that
was
was
a float.
following
It
him
was a
around?
floating camera ball thing that yeah, that Taylor thinks of as a snitch. Yeah, in fact, it is a golden
Yeah, that's what
snitch
it's
like in
called.
Harry Potter. It's got a golden
It's got golden wings and shit.
oh, does it have wings or is it just a gold plated ball?
Oh, I thought it had. I thought I might have misread it.
I don't know now.
I might have expected it as such.
I might have pictured it as with wings. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is a floating camera ball. I was kind of picturing, you know, Phantasm?
Phantasm. No.
Yeah, floating metal balls all over the place. But
Oh,
and
like when you take a picture and there's like the little dust
oh
things and it
no,
makes it look
well,
like that. Like the
no,
oh.
I know what you're talking about. That's a real. I'm from Connecticut. I know about taking pictures of fake ghosts. But Phantasm, no, Phantasm is a series of movies. I don't remember the guy's name, but you know about Bubba Hotep?
Oh yeah,
He's on
Bruce
a
Campbell.
yeah, yeah. So this director did Bubba Hotep, and like at least one other thing that I should be able to call to mind because it's cool. But
I thought it was Sam Raimi.
no, Sam Raimi did not direct Bubba Hotep.
I thought, I mean, considering Campbell's and everything he's done, but like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Dude, Phantasm wasn't even about these flying metal balls. I think at least one of sometimes they had cameras or projectors. I think you could put people's souls in them. A lot of the times, though, what they had in them was two like jagged hooks and a corkscrew. And this is not even what the movies aren't even about these things at all. The movies are about this horrible tall man who is either named Angus Scrim or played by a man named Angus Scrim, and his fictional name is even more ridiculous. But the actor is also anyway. There's uh, also these tiny little guys like Jawas and hoods that come through this dimension through a gate that's shaped like a giant tuning fork, and they drag. I think they're taking coffins, and there's this bald ice cream truck man with a flamethrower, and the balls have these hooks on them and they fly into people's heads and they use the corkscrew to drill into their brains, and then they have some kind of vacuum equipment inside to pull all of the brains and blood out of the guy's head in a concussive jet that shoots out the back of the ball. You got to look up Phantasm. There's like 5 different movies. I think some of them are like kind of like weirdly published or published other multiple titles. I lost track trying to like watch the rest of the series when I got to like 4 or 5. So that's what I was picturing. It's a series that's not really about flying metal balls.
But then what was it? Taylor uses a bunch of flies to take down the snitch,
Yeah,
which I thought was
smart.
pretty neat.
Yeah. Fuck your Twitch stream. Get that shit out. Get my fucking face off your goddamn Twitch stream.
Uh,
One of them can make anything one time.
mm,
And the more he makes any particular invention,
the worse it becomes.
the more likely it is that he's gonna fuck up. The other one is really good at anything that he's focusing on being really good at, such as acrobatics and karate. But the one that makes things is throwing cartoon bomber. Did I mention that they're dressed as Bomberman characters?
Yes, you
I
did. I also think that's really funny.
think that's a great game to reference. I didn't I was wondering and I was thinking I'm gonna have to like I was thinking I'm gonna have to like really either like sketch out how the uniform is described and try to, because I thought I was gonna have to guess what video game they were dressed up as, because at towards the end of this segment, like Taylor or someone realizes that it's Bomberman. But yeah, I was hoping I was gonna guess. One of my first guesses, because they describe the uniform as teal and pink with hoods. I thought maybe they were dressed up as the ice climbers, which is kind of close anyway to Bomberman. they have a little bit of a scuffle, and um this is interesting to me. I almost for a second I thought, and I I mean this could still happen. For a second I thought that something weird was going to start happening with the structure of the story, because because I didn't expect it, because the way that this chapter is laid out, the way that it's presented when you click next and read the next post is not the way that it is laid out in the table of contents.
Yep, you get the interlude.
Yeah. And for a second, when I expected there to be two interludes at the end of this segment, I was like, oh man, there's only one interlude. There, like, is it something where like the nature of the story is going to reflect upon the structure? Like, are we going to find out that interludes have actually been removed and or inserted in other places? But then I just realized that one of the ones listed at the end here is actually appears in the middle, and maybe it's an error. But for a second, I thought we were going to go on a ride with like the way I'm not sure if what I'm saying even makes sense, but of course I was.
No, I so I was in a coffee shop reading this on my phone, and I'm flipping through, and it goes to 3.5, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And so I go to the table of contents, and I double check everything. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I had this like theory that like if you're reading it sequentially, it like gives you this somewhere
this
in the
surprise,
middle.
Yeah, which you could have skipped. And maybe that's even the intention, because this is a little bit nasty.
Yeah, this is rough.
I mean, it's you know what? It's not nasty like a locker full of tampons, but I mean, we're getting into it here because these are the characters in this interlude. Which if you were reading the table of contents, you might have skipped this, which is weird. It's interesting that depending on how you're going through it, you could miss this chapter, because it is one that features the characters. The characters in this chapter are members of the Empire 88, the white gang, the racist white gang.
The racists.
Yeah.
The fuckheads.
And it is even, and the reason I say it's a little bit nasty is because they even get into it. This chapter is about a character named Caden asking a character named Max for help. Max is, I guess, the leader of Empire 88, or at least a higher up, and he is saying to her, like, at one point in this little exchange, like, you know, don't you, like, think about it. If you think about it, don't you think that, like, the problems that society is facing is caused by people, you know, with a different color skin than ours? And then, like, the narration goes into her interiority, and it says, like, and, you know, she thought to herself, yes, actually, everything is because of brown people. And it's like, you're to read it and to kind of, you know, It doesn't warn you, and that's surprising. And especially because you join in an interlude, you're joining Caden all of a sudden, and you don't know that this is where it's going. And it almost like it makes you, it's the kind of thing that I talked about this a lot with Stephen King, is you wonder, like, because it presents her interiority as like, it sounds like it could be the opinion of the narrator. Like, I'm not saying that it is. I like it. It is not in this case. But like,
no,
when you are suddenly,
when you suddenly, you know, there's a sudden racism happening. Yeah, it's startling.
And especially when you are like in the head of that character, and then when you start putting together that this character's superhero name is Purity, and she's going to visit the leader of the Empire 88 she wants to team up to fight back against the Asian bad boys. So they're like, there are race wars a brewing. And yeah, it is. It's presented in such a way that you're so in her head. And I mean, I guess that, and again, that's a credit to the writer and the writing here, is that when you get an interlude like this, you do immediately get into the character's head and you kind of are with them in a way that just, yeah, is a reflection of good writing. But yeah, you wonder, it makes it sound like the text itself is racist, which again is the kind of thing, you know, it's easy, and a certain type of reader even will read a Stephen King book and say like, there's characters in this book that are racist as shit, using all kinds of slurs left and right. This book is racist as shit. And like, you can look at it and you can take that can be what you take away from it. But, you know, I mean, it's like, there is a certain phrase, there's like a trope that, not a trope, but, you know, it's something is, I don't know, it's something about including a character doing a thing doesn't mean that the text is that thing. Which should be obvious, but it can be easy to be like, to not be sure. And this text is really talking about racism so far.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely
far.
a lot of white supremacy talking points. But I mean, but it's per the characters, of course.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I'm saying that like that Worm is talking about racism and like race gang war like a lot. Maybe not a lot, but I mean, it has touched every chapter we've read so far. So get ready. This might get real racist, and it also might get real bloody, real rotten blood left in a locker for 2 weeks. Anyway, this girl. Oh, go ahead. Anything else?
But yeah, like that. Yeah, that whole section was yeah. Let alone the fact that like, you know, she like uses her child as a
Yeah, it's his child.
as a
It's Max's
justification.
child as well.
Yeah, it's Max's. Yeah, it's her and Max's child.
Who is used as
Using that as a justification.
and as like a chip, like a trading, like a token kind of a leverage, you know. Which of us, yeah, who's gonna help who, and are you gonna let me raise my kids and not fuck with me, or is that gonna be the price of you helping me out? But yeah, so this is that's
yeah. That was quite the interlude. I was not expecting that.
a glimpse at the guys that want to take out the ABB, and the ABB is boy, there's shit going on with them right now as well. We meet. Well, we have talked about it, and again, I love how this text prepares you to meet these characters. Although I do want to say that like there's, and I don't, yeah, actually, I mean, I have this note in 4.8, which like we're roughly around 4.6 right now, but I'm gonna just kind of talk about this because I have talked about how this is like, you got to accept that this is a comic book world and it might be like hyper violent in a, you know, in a way that you wouldn't have happen in the real world. You know, there might be half the town might get blown up in a terrorist attack in the 4th chapter, but other, you know, but this is also like in that comic book kind of sense, there's also like a hyper exposition going on here. Like these characters like monologue, even the discussion of the origin stories, like people are just dropping information. Just, I mean, and also, I mean, the text is also just with all of the characters we're being introduced to. But most of the time, I like the way it's being done because I kind of know who Bakuda is. She's been mentioned once or twice. I've gotten a little brief of her powers through Taylor looking at Wikipedia. But now she's here. She shows up. She was the surprise guest of Uber and Leet, and she is doing a what's that lady's name? Amanda Waller? She has put a bunch of bombs in a bunch of civilians' heads and is forcing them to be her new ABB.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, I just remembered who Amanda Waller was. Yes.
Yeah, she puts bombs in people's heads.
Yep.
Not a nice lady.
And what I really liked was initially everybody thought that she was doing it like controlling everything with her mind.
Yes, but she was not.
That was a neat little twist. She's
That is
controlling it
a
with her toes.
really cool comic booky moment. There is, yeah, this is also, there's a lot of action, which, well, we'll just see what I made notes about. Yeah, they end up getting cornered. So I guess I don't make as many notes when there's fights and action going on, but they're jumping over the aisles of they're climbing on top of the lockers, jump into the next aisle, they're being chased. That at one point a man does like a ninja log trick. They see a man, they're sneaking behind him, and he vanishes and turns into a fucking bomb. Yeah, Bakuta's power is making different kinds of bombs, so things are blowing up while our heroes are escaping. And they end up cornered, which is when, oh, here's some talking about 2011. She tells, first of all, she has to tell someone to get the camera, period. That's not something you're ever going to hear someone say again. But some guy pulls out a camcorder and records her demonstration where she detonates one of these human Suicide Squad bombs. She tries to force a kid, not a kid, a 17-year-old dude who she's recruited and put a bomb in the skull of. She says, "Here's a gun. Shoot one of the main characters." And when the dude doesn't want to shoot the main character, Bakuta does a little step back and triggers the bomb in his skull, the 618, which turns him into goo, which instantly liquefies his body into goo. That's a terrible thing to do. But yeah, she says, "I can trigger these with my mind. And anyone that disobeys me is going to get blown up or liquefied." However, Lisa Tattletale knows she's lying. It's not with her mind. And she deduces it's probably with toe rings. She deduces some other things, like the fact that, Bakuta says she is now in charge of the ABB, which is not really true. She's kind of making a power play. And also these goons that she has put bombs into are kind of just her own recruits. And she's kind of, doing a power play. She's trying to position herself to take over the ABB. But the cool part with the toe rings is that after much more fighting and a bomb that causes everything to freeze and a pillar of ice and a bunch of other shit. There's a pretty cool fight with Gru. Yeah, Bakuta is chasing them with a jeep in between these storage lockers. Like I wonder if every section is going to be like a fucking comic book, because this is really, this is action packed. Gru fucks up her jeep, fucks up her driver. Alec fucks up himself while fucking up the jeep. This is actually really fun to read. This section that I'm kind of just skipping over and talking about how there's a ton of that. But I mean, the jeep fight in particular is really cool.
I really dug the description of that, most definitely.
And they almost think that they've gotten the drop, or not the drop, but they think they've got Bakuta knocked out, and they are
trying to escape basically at this point.
They think they've got her, but she comes to and shoots a neurological pain grenade at Bug. And then she glues everybody. Then she shoots glue grenades at the rest of them, and she's kind of strutting around tormenting Bug, but Bug has a knife and a piece of information that Bakuta does not know she has. Oh, man. But first, while she's strutting around tormenting Bug, she's talking about how she's gonna... Well, she slips a grenade into Gru's nostril and says it's gonna distort him into...
It was like an antimatter grenade or something like that.
Yeah, that's going to leave him alive, but distort his body into strange shapes and cause minimal brain damage. But Bug knows about the toes. So she pulls out her knife and cuts him off. Yeah, and I thought that was neat. I thought she activates these grenades via toe rings. She doesn't know we know. She's wearing pink Bomberman boots, and she gets her fucking toes cut off. And she gets away though. So that's yeah, and in fact, she gets away and blows up half the town. Also, they talk about how she's probably targeting. You know what? I'm not sure. There was like a brief line saying she was. I don't know if she's targeting like Protectorate or yeah, probably just rival gang targets. You know, but after this incident of her blowing the shit out of this locker area and getting her toes cut off, she escapes and blows up a whole bunch of other things. But our heroes escape too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got away by the skin of their teeth. I really liked the way that this was laid out, and especially this final portion when
Showdown. Yeah, this and it's tense.
Oh yeah. And when she's coming to, and like I was also thinking, like, you know, the mild stuff that she got from, like, the mild stitches that she got from Bitch's dogs,
Yeah.
like, and the fact that she, like, I honestly thought about, like, oh man, she's really messed up in this moment. How is she going to explain this to her father? This is going to be funny. This is like I'm really wondering how they're going to get around that moment. And what they came up with, I thought was fantastic.
Well, it's yeah, it's pretty convenient if you have to make up a story to cover up getting blown up by a bomb when
Right.
half the town gets blown up by bombs. Yeah, it's very comic booky. This is very like Spider-Man-y kind of things.
Oh yeah, like
happening.
Spider-Man hiding like why he had something wrong, or
Yeah.
like Bruce Wayne saying that he broke a rib in a skydiving accident, but he really got it fighting Clayface or something.
Yeah, like that old lady, Aunt May. You know what I'm?
Aunt May. Oh yeah,
like, yeah. Sorry, yeah, Aunt May. I got caught in the terrorist attack while I was out, with my friends shopping. We went shopping and the dirt mall blew up. I was buying smashed pennies. Phil, man, is it Phil? You know Captain Peanut Butter?
Captain Peanut. What the fuck?
Oh, I guess not. That's a character from BoJack Horseman.
Oh, that's Mr. Peanut Butter.
Oh, but his brother's name is Captain Peanut Butter.
Oh, I might not have gotten that far.
Played by Weird Al.
Get out of here.
Oh
That sounds
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, Captain Peanut. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm Mr. Peanut Butter, and my fucking
This is my brother Captain, and our father, Admiral.
yeah. Mr. Peanut Butter was played by Paul F. Tompkins.
Was he played by Paul F. Tompkins?
Oh, yeah. So that's the guy. Yeah, Paul F. Tompkins.
Mm-hmm.
He has a whole like spiel that he does about smashed pennies.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, maybe I'll find it and link it to you later.
Hell yeah, man.
I just want to make sure that I'm saying the right. Yeah, Paul F. Tompkins. Yeah, that guy's hysterical.
Oh, he is
Yeah.
fan-fucking-tastic. Like, I watch like a lot of like the Dropout TV stuff. Have you ever watched any of that? Like,
No, I'm
Make
not
Some
sure.
Noise. Sam Reich.
I don't know. Oh, Sam Reich. That sounds familiar, but I don't think I've heard of Dropout TV.
So it's like it's basically a channel of like a bunch of comedians doing improv.
Oh yeah, sure.
Predominantly hosted by this guy Sam Reich, who's also like the president CEO, and they have like little mini game shows, they have improv shows,
Is he
But
real? Is Sam Reich real straight laced, real close cropped kind of
yeah, he's like a
Catholic?
bearded guy, glasses.
Okay.
Yeah, but Paul F. Tompkins was on one of the was on a couple of their game shows, and he's just fucking hilarious on that shit.
Yo, that's a very funny man. Yeah, so Danny Hebert meets Tattletale and Gru. They bring Taylor over all patch. Oh well, first of all, they bring Taylor to. This is why I said that we get some confirmation that Lisa is connected to some kind of larger organization, because she tells Danny that they took her to her father and that her father is a doctor, but that's not the case. She took her to it sounds like a superhero doctor. It sounds like the guy, or a criminal doctor. It sounds like the guy you go to get patched up by.
A vet that'll do like, you know, under the table stuff for like humans.
Yeah,
for,
it's like the
mob and stuff.
The vet character from like Breaking Bad or any of those. Yeah,
Yeah,
a mob movie where you have to go to the vet. But on you've mentioned that you think that Danny may know more than we've seen. I like that Danny. Lisa says something like, they did get burned when the pain bomb or whatever hit Taylor went off. And she says, we weren't close enough to the explosion. I did get a little burn, but it's like a sunburn. And Danny looks at her and says, oh, you didn't get it around your eyes, where she was wearing her supervillain mask. So that could almost be a little foreshadowing that Danny might know. He's pointing out to her that she may have been, but she says, well, I was wearing sunglasses. But I think there might be something in that line.
But there is some I will say some cleverness to Telltale's response, like, just on the fly. Oh yeah, sunglasses. Well played. Also the scene where she's trying to where she's kind of like slipping in and out of consciousness in the doctor's office, and there's just a bunch of bugs everywhere.
They have to, the argument is that they have to bring her out of sedation, which he does not think is a good idea. Well, he has to bring her, the doctor has to bring her out of sedation, but he also doesn't want to give her painkillers until they can diagnose the concussion properly. Well, anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with bugs, but they have to, there's an argument. Can they bring her out of sedation to tell her to stop? Because one of the last things before losing consciousness, she had summoned the bugs to her, just in general. And then she was still doing it while unconscious. So they have to wake her up and be like, she had never sent them a command to like, stop. To stop coming to me. So they're in this room with this criminal doctor, and they've used saran wrap and tape to seal up the room, but these bugs keep coming in however they can, and they have to bring her out of sedation to tell her to knock it the fuck off. That's cool.
Oh,
that's
brutal.
a little bit, yeah. Yeah, and Danny, man, every time that Danny is around, he makes me want to go and buy breakfast food. In fact, right after I read this, I came home, and on the way home, actually no, I came home and then I went out to the store, but I bought frosted donuts and ate them because there's always something in the Danny scene that makes me want to eat breakfast. And he's talking about he's got fresh baked cookies and bagels with jam, and he's making them coffee and shit, and seems like a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Like a guy who wouldn't potentially lose his cool after not seeing his daughter for an evening. Suspicious,
man. And this is he's really, if this is a guy that has to contain his rage, he really although I mean they got a good it's
they
not
got they got a good relationship though, so
it's not like it's not like these kids came to his house and were like, we just crashed our car and your daughter was in the car. These kids are like, we just got blown up by a terrorist. Like,
Right.
that's a little bit like, I mean, you get mad at somebody else. Like, if a kid crashes your car and your kid is in that car, you can get mad at the kid that crashed. I mean, you shouldn't, but I'm not, I'm not anyone's dad.
yeah.
So,
But this was like a random happenstance that, she just happened to be nearby.
well, that's what they tell them. They got blown up because they were doing criminal money smuggling, which
They're doing money things.
they kind of rescue Bitch and the money off screen after Bakuda gets away.
Yeah, that I found it kind of interesting that they didn't explain what happened there.
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, maybe we'll find it. And I mean, we do catch up with Bitch basically immediately, and it's after all of that. I mean, do you have anything more to say about Danny and the kids at his house? They're watching movies. It's very cute.
Yeah, they're just all
friends.
hanging out, and Danny's just happy that his daughter has friends that care enough to bring her home and all that stuff, which is. But
I think he
like-
noticed
like-
that she was wearing a mask. I think he knows.
has to.
Maybe.
Like, let alone the fact that, again, I think that he was at one point either a villain or
Right. Yeah. He's got a history.
or potentially the
Mr.
one
Furious.
Dr. Manhattan. What was his name?
Oh, well, Dr. Manhattan is.
Well,
Is
the
that-
the Dr. Manhattan character in this universe. Well, like the
Yeah.
one that they found in the middle of space
Yeah.
that Danny was watching the documentary on.
Man, I
in
feel
one
like
of those episodes.
it's not Superion, but it's something like that. You know what I mean?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, potentially could be him.
Could be. Yeah, we were thinking he was watching the documentary wistfully.
Yes.
Mr.
Oh.
Mr. Furious is, I don't think that's the name of the Ben Stiller character, but Mystery Men,
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time.
I feel like there were two movies around that time where somebody where someone has like some kind of science fiction ray gun that just like does a bunch of Photoshop effects on the target. Do you have any idea what I mean? Like, one of the main superheroes, the reason that the Mystery Men have to come out is because like the main superhero of the city, the villain like shoots him with a ray that like, it sounds like what Bakuda wants to do to Gru. Like it makes his face get all photoshopped and twisted and all like, it's a Photoshop beam. Anyway, that was the thing that was going on around 2002 or whatever. There was like one other movie where someone gets photoshopped to death.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, and it's like, weird early CG of like, squishing like Alex Mack looking shit.
Oh, like Smack. That was great.
If you don't mind me moving on, what do you think about the Scentless Man? It is Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Brian
but the
is,
fact that he's scentless is interesting.
Is that interesting? Is it? I mean, it probably has to do with his powers.
Yeah.
That he is dark and obfuscated and also scentless. But yeah, I want to read more into it. I want to feel like it's. But I mean, it probably is a clue to another layer of his powers. I mean, it doesn't like. Yeah, being scentless is definitely.
Not something that you would commonly see as a positive superhero power,
or as just any, or as
or a general descriptor of like
something a
who
normal
they are.
human would display. Like, yeah, I mean, it's obviously something supernatural beings,
Like-
but we've
And like I also really like the way that the author, like in these interludes, it's all within like the voice of whomever we are kind of watching.
This guy is really good at getting, I've said it, yeah, like he's really good at getting people's interiors. He's really good at getting their own voices that sound different from the other voice. Like, and I even said something about how like I think first person is kind of easy, but like unless you do it correctly. And I really like, he really, yeah. And here in Interlude 4, we are with Brutus. the dog, one of the biggest dog. And Brian is a scentless man. And yeah, we're catching up with them, I guess, after Rachel has been rescued. They're having a brief exchange, but like they've gotten back, like they confirmed that the money is back. They've delivered the goods, like the job is complete. But again, this has happened off screen. And yeah, and we're hearing this conversation from Brutus's perspective. And yeah, after terrifying the populace for a little bit, after terrifying the citizens, Rachel goes and fucks up a dogfighting ring, which is a good thing to do.
Indeed, I will wholeheartedly agree with that.
If you have superpowers and big monsters, find your local dog fighters and go fuck them up. And if you get arrested for serial murder, you can tell them that I said, tell them Dave sent you. Awesome times to be alive. My mental health has never been better. I am just really feel very stable and feel like I'm saying very normal and sane things all the time. The next chapter is called Hive. Yeah. Please.
No, I was gonna say dude, I totally understand. Yeah. Like it's hard keeping your head above the water these days. So like again, which is why like a little bit of Worman.
I love to escape into fiction.
Indeed, and this has been one hell of a fiction to escape into.
Really such a weird, unique, and I mean, I wonder if it really is just going to be like reading comic books. I wonder if because so far, I mean, just these.
This is basically a long descriptor for a comic book series.
Yeah, it is so comic booky, and I guess I'm not I don't want to say I hope it's anything. I don't want to say I hope it's like this or I hope it's not. But I mean, I don't know. I hope it's not just like nonstop action every issue, because these arcs are almost like issues. Like they could be like, normally when you're talking about comics, you refer to an arc as like a series of issues. But really each of these chapters, there's, the issue where they rob the bank. There's the one where they get into the big fight with the bombs. These do seem like single comic book issues covering a single adventure, which again, sometimes it takes a long time in a comic to anyway. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but I guess what I was saying is I hope that it's not all like a big action set every issue kind of, but I don't know. I don't hope that much.
No, I mean, there's just so many questions. Like I still want to know where this extra dimension, like or interdimensional trade system, like what's going on with that. Like that seems just super fascinating to me. And and the fact that like it's only mentioned in this sort of like, we trade media with each other.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. We have no other real idea of what's, in
interdimensional
that universe.
TV.
Yeah. You get some interdimensional TV, and that's pretty much it.
It's basically one alternate universe here that we know of.
Yeah, that we understand.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
That we can comprehend.
Right, yeah.
Yes. But yeah, really, really interesting stuff. Like I'm really stoked on.
Yeah, there's a ton of setup. There's a lot of things that could happen, which is why I don't want to say I hope this happens or this doesn't happen. But I mean, it's. I just really love playing that like guessing game of like where people are going with some things. All of these characters really feel like they are on arcs, and it feels like we have already like followed them through like the beginning curve of one of these arcs. Like, I mean, we're already like a story like this could be like fucking spinning its wheels. And I mean, this is introducing a ton of characters, but the way, like I've already said, like in an interesting way where they kind of get soft introduced or mentioned once, and then which is really smart and it helps the reader. But like, you could do this kind of thing. Like these past 4 chapters each one could have just been introducing one of these characters and giving us their backstory and letting us get to know them, and none of them would be on an arc yet. But these characters have all fought together. We all know what their goals are. Some of them have changed what we think their goals are. Like we're already like moving along an arc with these characters, and really we're 4 chapters in or so. So I mean, this thing is, there's a lot of little tricks and things that he's doing that I think are really good writing, and yeah, it's cooking.
Most definitely. Like yeah. There's yeah, there's a lot of promise in where the story's going, and it's keeping me captivated every single week that we have to read through a chapter. And like, sincerely, I go to the coffee shop on Wednesday for work. I sit down for like 2-3 hours, and I'll just read through it. And I will read through the entire thing the entire time. Again,
Holds your attention.
it's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so Worm 2011, we recommend it. Next
thumbs
week,
up, Worm.
number 5, Hive.
Indeed.
I'm gonna get you that. I'm gonna find that video about the smashed pennies.
Oh yeah, well,
Paul F. Tompkins. I'll find you that and another video that I'm gonna link to you, because I've been watching I mentioned the guy's name is not Superion, but there's a character named Superion, and also well, anyway, I've been watching the Amazon Prime series The Tick. So one of the main big superhero, the Superman character is named Superion, but also they have the superhero agency is called Aegis, which we have a character called Aegis here. But The Tick is just it's very much in a similar kind of world to this. Like it's very down to earth and dramatic, like the character Arthur the Moth guy.
yeah.
Or, I mean, if you're familiar with The Tick. So like it really the new Amazon show really focuses on that character, and like when like his he has very real concerns and like a very human life, and then any scene that involves the Tick is nonsense, so
and his basically it's not a blatant like an intentional disregard for like Arthur's life. It's just that he's just an idiot, and that's the beauty of the character, is that the Tick is just a big buff moron.
Yeah.
Whose battle cry is spoon.
It's a very like hyper real, like hyper comic booky kind of vibe that really matches this a lot. So the other thing, two of the reasons I like this show is because of the actors who are in it. One of them is Peter Serafinowicz.
I love Peter Serafinowicz. Oh my god.
He plays the Tick.
He plays the Tick?
No
way.
Have you ever heard him talk about being Darth Maul? Because that's the other video I want to link to you.
Oh, I did see that. The dude's an amazing voice actor.
He's so funny. Oh my god.
Oh my god. What so he also did like a BBC show back in the day.
Oh my god.
The Peter Serafinowicz show. It's like a variety show sort of thing.
That I don't know about.
Oh god.
I think he might have been involved with Look Around You. Do you know what that is?
What is it?
Look Around You? It was like
I am familiar with that.
Oh, like man,
it's supposed to be like a kid. It's supposed to be like a kid's show, but it's like a hyper weird, like Adult Swim type thing.
Yeah, I don't know if he did a voice on that. I think he did, but I could. But anyway, yeah. So that guy plays the Tick, and the guy that plays Arthur is like he's acted in a few things, but he does a podcast that I really like. His name is Griffin Newman. He's on Blank Check with Griffin and David. So both of those actors are really good. And yeah, the thing, Peter Serafinowicz talking about being directed by George, what's the Star Wars guy? George Lucas. he's talking about how he's in this voice booth, and like George Lucas is a director, one of the most famous directors in history, and Peter Serafinowicz is talking about how he's in the voice booth, and he's saying, so he's asking George to direct him. He's saying like, so what is this guy like? Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to sound like? And he's like, and George Lucas goes, I don't know, just make him sound evil.
What? I do remember hearing that story.
Yeah, that shit is really good. So The Tick is awesome. And I'm also in the middle of a book called The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which is really interesting and very video gamey. I almost feel like someone is going to make a video game based on this. It's a kind of Groundhog Day kind of thing, where there's a bunch of people at this hunting lodge in the woods, and there was a murder 11 years ago, and there's a murder being planned, or 19 years ago, but the guy that's stuck in the Groundhog Day loop, he wakes up in another person's body every day, so he gets to like go through and kind of find whatever clues he could leave behind the previous day, and it all gets more and more interwoven as he inhabits more of the people. It's really neat. So those are the two things that I have kind of been consuming. In addition to this, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. And I'm going to kitchen gun. I'm going to tell you the author. It's Stuart, I think?
Stuart
Turton, yeah. This was recommended to me by our friend Pete. And
very interesting.
Yeah, it's neat. I'm always interested in new authors that I haven't heard of, you know. And man, yeah, dude, he was young when he was doing this, the Peter Serafinowicz show. But I gotta find out if he actually had something to do with Look Around You, because that shit is insane.
Man, I haven't watched that in years. I might have to find that somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like streaming on it. I think it was it on?
I'm sure you could probably find something on YouTube easily.
Oh, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, actually, yeah.
Look, it's like right there as soon as I typed in look. That's scary, Google. That's really scary, Google.
You think it's listening, or you think it just knows you so well?
It's heard me.
It knows you like Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Look Around You is a British comedy series created by Robert Popper and Peter Serafinowicz that parodies
the hell out of here.
1970s and 1980s educational science programs. Yeah. That show's very funny. Oh my god, yeah, there's a picture of him like on the cover of whatever, you know, like the thumbnail on the BBC. I haven't seen, by any time I was watching this show, I probably did not know who this guy was.
No, and you know what, and you just never notice that he's also like the roommate to Shaun from Shaun of the Dead.
Oh my god, yeah, that's wow. I think I sort of knew that, and yeah.
The glasses like throw you off initially.
Yeah, sure. Funny guy, like, so fucking deadpan.
So funny. Oh my god. And he's a pretty decent impressionist. Like,
yeah, he did a good job on George Lucas, better than I did.
Oh yeah, he does a really good Darth Vader too. I've seen him do that with on some podcast with somebody, but it was really funny. But
yeah, well,
yeah, Peter Serafinowicz show. Look it up. It's silly as shit.
Are you anything else that you are reading or experiencing or
God, what's that podcast I've been listening to? It's, I believe the woman's name is Sarah Marshall. I've been listening to this podcast.
Not the lady that broke up with Jason Segel and started dating
not the one that broke up with
Peter, you suck. I hate the psychiatrist. That's one of the funniest scenes in any movie.
Yeah, but it's a podcast called The Devil You Know with Sarah Marshall,
Oh,
and it's
that almost
she
sounds
wrote
familiar.
she wrote a book about the Satanic Panic. And,
Okay. I'm interested.
yeah,
in that.
really funny stuff.
Oh,
like-
funny.
Well, if you didn't know,
Okay, yeah.
if you didn't know, if you
I seem
like,
to-
you know,
I feel
didn't
like a
know
bunch
that
of
it was,
people's lives got
you know,
fucked up.
made up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
people,
horror show,
yeah. It's a horror show.
Yeah.
It like hearing these stories is petrifying. But she goes and re-interviews some of the people that she mentions in her book. Really fun stuff. But she also hosts this podcast called You're Wrong About, which is like
Oh, yeah.
a sort of like in-depth like discussion with her, and I got you're about with Sarah Marshall and Michael Hobbs, who is a journalist for the Huffington Post. But he but they do this podcast where they talk about like, you know, cultural things that, you know, we had this general perception of, that we thought that we had 100% down until all the
the
information
modern age.
eventually
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out,
yeah,
until everything else came out.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is
like,
which is a common type of event to have in like human society.
yeah, like
everybody, will really
they
just go
talk-
along believing any kind of weird thing.
oh yeah, they talk about
Medicine.
Jonestown. They
Oh,
talk
man.
about Dare, which I thought was a really interesting episode.
Yeah, Dare was
the
like
the
full of
Lorena
shit.
Bobbitt case, which I thought was really
Yeah,
interesting.
did they talk about that lady that burned her crotch on the McDonald's coffee?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, they do.
Dude, that's a classic. Yeah, I mean that is a
that's a
classic. Everyone got it wrong because of the people that are in charge of the media. Because it was a
But yeah,
paid
you're
job.
wrong about. I would highly recommend it.
Cool.
But
My heart goes
yeah.
out to that McDonald's lady.
indeed. But yeah,
Yeah, thanks for
as
joining
always,
me.
man. Yeah, thank you for having me. As always, always good talking worm.
Yeah, good to read books, man. Go give anyone listening,
Everyone go read
go
books.
get a library card, get Libby on your phone, listen to The Dark Tower, come talk to me about Stephen King's It. Talk to us on Discord. Yeah, maybe I'll have more links and things to talk about someday when I finally get more of my stuff set up, but I don't know. I feel like I've been on the edge of like a creative upswing, but just things keep falling to pieces around
Once
me.
the weather
and-
breaks, man,
yeah,
like
that's gonna make me
100%.
feel a lot better. Yeah, I just everything
Keeps getting cold. Fuck this shit.
everything keeps getting very expensive.
That too.
Shit is-
That too.
Shit is nonstop around here. I am plugging holes. I'm not plugging them fast enough. I can't plug them as fast as the worms chew them.
Right. Damn, man. But
I hope we can all. I hope we'll all be okay. I'm gonna be fine.
I hope
Everything's
everybody.
fine.
I hope you and everybody else out there is staying afloat as much as you can.
I got 3 cats. Very, very nice cats. I'm grunting because I'm reaching for my camera. And he leaves. He was on the back of the chair. Oh, but look at you. Look
Aw.
at you. The most
Hi,
majestic
Paprika.
creatures. I'm doing it for him.
You're my boy Paprika.
Good dudes. Yeah. Yeah,
Good
thanks, man.
dudes. Yeah, man. Thanks for
I
having
hope,
me. As
yeah,
always.
man. I hope shit is going good, man. I hope, I hope
same
we
for you,
all.
man.
I hope anyone that is in that's having some kind of existential panic about the state of the world. I hope the world fucking calms down and springtime finally comes. That's my hope for everyone.
Indeed.
On the rock of the earth, I lay my bones and laughed. Ghost hands on the banister, trying to pull me back, but the kittens kept watch. Little kittens.
I kind of have two stories about my experience, and I guess it does depend. You know what I mean? I think maybe I've just realized the point of the two stories. Maybe not, but it has to do with how many people are around and how many people need your attention and how much of a part of a team you have to be while you're
Right.
like really high. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, because I guess some people. Well, obviously it's different. Some people get into that flow state and can work on a line, but I like. And in fact, these stories have nothing to do with anything, with each other. But I like to talk about how, because I worked in construction and I would never smoke and go to work. Basically, never. Like, these are the two times I went to work high. So one time I was working construction and I had to stain a deck all day. All I had to do was brush stain onto this gigantic deck, one board at a time. And I was like, I think today I'm going to smoke a joint and I'm going to stain this deck. And it was the best day of work. I still think about that day. I still think about the day I got to smoke a joint and stain a deck. It was awesome. That's how you should, for me. And it is weird I usually don't recommend people marijuana practices because what happens to you is can be wildly different for different people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that might not work for you, and working as a line cook might work for you while you're high. But the other one is working at a Dunkin' Donuts. I would never ever go into any kind of fast food job high, and fast food is very different from working in like a kitchen. But I would never go into a fast food, and I don't even want to say like a teenager job, but just a job that it has a lot going on, that like there's a lot of people there, customers and coworkers doing a lot of different things, and that's part of the problem. But what happened to me the one day that my friend came over and said, "Hey, let's smoke a couple bowls. I know you got to go to work. Maybe it'll be fun." And I was a much younger man. Boy, I'm taking a long time with this story. I went to work, and one of my coworkers, who was a young woman of my age at the time, I got to work, I was high as a kite. It was a Dunkin' Donuts. There was shit going on everywhere. There was noise everywhere. There were people yelling. There were customers. There were coffee being made. I got to work high as a kite, and this lady said, "Hold out your hands." So I held out both hands, and she placed a penny. She placed one penny in the palm of both of my hands. And she said, "Look at these pennies." And I looked at them. And she said, and she pointed at the one. She said, "We think this penny is counterfeit." And I sat there with these two pennies. The only day, this was before the deck, the only day in my life I had come to work high at any job. A penny. 1 cent. One metallic coin. I looked at this because my first thought was not which of these pennies looks fake, or is this penny fake compared to the one she thinks is real. My first thought was, why the fuck would someone counterfeit pennies? And I was just, and my thought right after that was, this bitch knows I'm high. This was, of course, when it was less socially acceptable to be high all the time. I feel like now you can walk around popping an 85% vape pen and just going about your day. But I would have been in a lot of trouble. They would have called the cops if they knew I was smoking pipes and coming to work. And she wants me to identify counterfeit pennies. Yeah. My first thought was, this is a joke. They knew I was coming to work high, and they set up a weird scenario for me to think about some nonsense. See how I fucking responded to it. So anyway, it can be really cool to go to work when you're high, and it can also you can hallucinate a scenario where your coworkers are playing tricks on you because they know you're high.
Oh my God. I got a nice story. So I used to like alternate picking up and being picked up by a coworker. His name was Monk, and Monk and I he was a really funny guy. Like
anything
true
with
blue like line cook.
germs or like
Say what?
any kind of germophobia, or was he into any kind of
No.
detective work?
No. No, but he was probably one of the
Didn't go
best
by
line cooks I've ever worked
Shalhoub.
with.
That's cool.
Was he in fact Tony Shalhoub? No, he wasn't. But it was just really funny. Like one day I pick him up for work, and he's got this blunt, and he's just he's like hey man, can I smoke this? And I'm like, nah man, go right ahead. He goes, you want some of it? I'm like, dude, I'm driving. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And so he keeps smoking it. We're about like halfway to work. And he goes, come on, man, it'll be fine. Like, dude, don't worry about it. And so I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And so I hit this blunt a couple times. Thankfully, we have like chef jackets that they provide at the place that I worked. So it would cover up the smell just a little bit.
Sure.
But like, I hit this a handful of times, and he always had some pretty fire weed. Like after work, like him and I would smoke. But like, I could not function with that shit while working. But I thought, why the hell not?
Yeah.
I go in.
How are you gonna
Eyes
know?
better than the devil's dick. Like I'm very blatantly goofed. And there's this grill cook. His name was Nate. He was like this really, really big guy from Texas, but we used to aptly named him Tiny.
Yeah, of course.
Because
as you
every
do,
big,
yeah.
as you do with big dudes. And he used to call me little fella.
Well,
And
sure.
he would go, oh, hey there, little fella. How you doing today? I'm like, oh, doing great, man. What's going on? And he goes, oh, it seems your allergies are acting up a bit today. I go, oh, yeah, it's really bad out there. Bad pollen, everywhere. He just squints at me and he's like, all right, man. And I go throughout my shift. I'm like, I'm like keeping my head down. I'm getting my prep done. I'm dead focused. I'm trying, or at least trying really, really hard to focus. And I'm halfway through. I'm about like a third of the way through the shift, and the chef comes back from going to like Restaurant Depot or something like that. And he goes, "All right, I got you an ice cream scoop, a couple other things, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, and he's like standing right next to me as he's placing these items next to me, and I'm like prepping this salad. And I look up at him, and he looks at me, and he squints for a second. And then his eyes open back up, and he goes, "You're high," as loud as he possibly could. And then walked away.
Did you request it? Wow. Did you
Request?
Did you request an ice cream scoop, or was he like, here are some things from the store?
Here's some things from the store that I think you're gonna need for the next handful of days. And then he just walks away, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm fucked. I'm really fucked. And then shortly, like right near the end of service, he goes, hey Thrash, come, when you got a sec, come to my office. I'm like, oh my god, I'm really fucked. Oh my god, Fremont, why did you convince me to do this? And it's like, no man, this is your fault. You made your bed, now lie in it. And so, like by this time I had come down. I'm already sweating.
Yeah.
I've immediately hit reality like a brick wall. And I go into the office and I sit down with him. I'm like, listen, man, I'm really sorry. It's just been a long handful, a couple of days. And he goes, oh, you're talking about smoking, man? I don't care. You're fine. And I'm like,
then
what?
why'd you have to scare me?
And he goes, yeah, man, don't worry about it. Like you know what, man? Everybody's got to do their thing to get through the day. It's not a big deal. Like as long as you're keeping up with shit, I don't give a shit. And then he proceeds to tell me, to which, by the way, why I asked you into my office was because, listen, my cousin out in California is like selling pounds, and I'm looking for somebody to buy. I'm looking for somebody to buy in. You want to buy in on a pound?
It does happen that way sometimes.
Happy little accidents like that do happen sometimes.
Sometimes someone, yeah.
It was harrowing for a second though. I thought I was going to be in some shit. Oh man, but yeah, and I learned my lesson. I never went back to work.
Used to get in trouble for smoking pot.
Mm.
I mean, you probably still do it at work, but a lot of places. Well, you know, I mean, I bet there are a lot of more places that just openly do not care the way that you
Oh yeah,
described that guy is not really, as you know, people just having to
no,
get through their day.
that is a rare 1% occurrence.
Yeah.
So everybody out there who's thinking about going into work high, just don't do it.
Yeah, I did not like those ladies asking me about the pennies.
Yeah, I would have sat there and looked at my hands a bit. What?
And just looking at my hands, like, what is going? Why? What?
Why are you fucking like? I would have been in the same sort of like headspace of they know, sort of
And then
thing.
you're high, so your thoughts kind of drift away, and I drift to like, what am I supposed to be doing? And then I'm like, oh wait, but I've got these fucking pennies here. One of these is counterfeit, you stupid weirdos. Just yeah. Man.
Too funny.
I wish I could just smoke pot all day and never have to think about what anyone might think about it or what anyone is saying to me. How many
dude,
coffees I'm supposed to be making.
dude, or even worse, you get stoned, and then you go for a walk somewhere, and you're questioning how quickly, or like questioning how you're walking so you can hide how high you are. Or even worse, you come across somebody, walking past you,
Oh,
and you feel the need to say hi, and you say hello, and then as you continue walking past, you're like, did I actually say hello, or did I say something absolutely ridiculous?
yeah.
Did I just say a letter scramble? Or the top of it all, you have somebody in front of you down the sidewalk where you're walking, and you're keeping your regular pace, but you feel like you're like gaining on them, and you don't want to freak anybody out.
I do
So
not
you
like
just
that. Yeah.
So then you just full sprint past people just so you don't make anybody uncomfortable, and then you just look like an even bigger weirdo after that.
I guess I always
Like,
come back to this, but yeah, part of it is that it's just being around people is just terrible in general because these days because no one will communicate with each other. Even in a situation like that where you're hiking or walking past people or around people, it's just everyone is either in their own little world or they're glaring at everyone around them looking for a fight. Again, I speak with hyperbole and I catastrophize.
catastrophize.
I can't get away from this thought that society is crumbling and everyone is angry at each other every time I go out there. So I don't know, but
No, I get that.
yeah, it does suck walking around. No, but yeah, I do particularly dislike it when I'm trying to like pace myself and either not pass someone or if there's like three people directly